Welcome to the RIA Research Break. I'm Dominique Williams, Education Manager at the Schlegel-UW Research Institute for Aging. We hope these videos provide you with an opportunity to hear about the amazing work of our research partners and to be able to ask any questions that you may have. Joining me today is Specialist in Spirituality and Aging, Jane Kuepfer. Thank you for being here with me today, Jane.
So Jane Berger from Brampton asks, how can we get chaplains from a wide range of religions such as Sikh, Hinduism, Islam and Indigenous religions? They see that there's a shortage of these chaplains in senior living organizations.
That is a great question, and an area where we're seeing change in the need. Until recently, most people in senior living, including many who'd come to Canada as young adults soon after World War II, had Judeo-Christian roots. As you know, migration patterns changed, and new Canadians since then are more diverse in culture and in religion. These new Canadians are now growing older, and we see people from cultures where elders would traditionally have been cared for at home, including Indigenous people, now more often beginning to seek residential care. So the spectrum of spirituality that we have in our communities is changing. Chaplaincy training programs through the Canadian Association for Spiritual Care and others are meant to equip people of any faith tradition to be able to support the spirituality of a diversity of residents. And the Canadian Multi-Faith Federation looks after certifying chaplains in multi-faith competency. The process of homes and trained chaplains finding a good match, though, can be tricky. And the best places for homes to advertise and to look for trained spiritual care providers is probably the websites of those two organizations, Canadian Association for Spiritual Care and the Canadian Multi-Faith Federation. I'd encourage people of faith of any tradition, whether Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Indigenous, Jewish, or Christian, to pursue training in spiritual care, to nurture a generous and open heart for the spiritual needs of all people, and to trust that the residential care system will recognize the importance of spiritual care.
Thank you for that answer, and thank you for giving us some wonderful resources for people to follow up with. I have a question from Stephen in Hamilton who asks, is music helpful in the pursuit of spirituality? If so, what genre?
That's a great question, Stephen. Music is more than useful. It's powerful. It's freeing, it's mysterious, it's fun, it's beautiful. Music of some kind is a common dimension of all religions. It touches our spirits, it moves our emotions and our bodies, modulates our breathing, connects memories in amazing ways. Music can be a way of connecting and communicating, a way that's beyond our intellect. It's also a way of giving and receiving. And music can help us to pray. Music's especially powerful for people living with dementia. Music makes connections. It brings joy, peace, a sense of belonging when pieces are struggling to find their fit. As far as genre, almost anything can be meaningful depending on the person. Of course, religions have their sacred music that connects us to beliefs, to community, brings us into an attitude of worship. Hymns, chants, sounds. But familiar music from earlier life can also be really meaningful and make connections. Of course, anything that's experienced as beautiful, even music that's new to us, can transport us in a powerful way. There's also been some research on frequency in music. Different frequencies have been found to be healing, to promote positivity or calm. Making music also brings people together, or enjoying it together, if not making it. It doesn't have to be spiritual music to have a profound spiritual effect. Sometimes music is just fun, and that can lift our spirits too. Making music with instruments or singing together is especially wonderful, and we've really been missing that in pandemic times. But we've discovered more and more great music on YouTube that we can share as we move, as we connect, as we appreciate the effect that music has on our spirits.
Stephen has a follow-up to this question. Has Qigong ever been used? And for those of us that don't know, what is Qigong?
Okay, Qigong is a traditional practice for maintaining health. And it has its roots in China back almost 5,000 years. It consists of gentle body movements, breathing, meditation, paying attention to the life energy flow. It's about acceptance and awareness, health and harmony of mind and body. It's about allowing the body to heal itself. It's interesting that though Qigong has been used, most of the research around it has been on its physical and its psychological benefits for people. Benefits such as improving balance and energy flow, psychological effects like improvement in depression, anxiety. While Qigong has these psychological and physical benefits, it is innately a spiritual practice about harmony and holistic wellness, which is harder to measure, but very real. So Qigong acknowledges what traditional Western religion and medicine have often missed. The reality that our body, mind, and spirit are all wrapped up with one another. And what affects one can't help but affect the other. And what helps one helps the other. Lots of studies that show the physical and psychological benefits of Qigong have been done, as I said, and a few have begun to try to put words to the spiritual benefits that people experience. But there's definitely room for more study of this ancient practice that has endured up until our time.
You know, it sounds like the benefits from Qigong are just amazing, and I can't wait to see if there's any more research on the spirituality of Qigong. Margaret from Guelph asks, I am a member of the LGBTQ community. How are senior living organizations working towards making homes more inclusive? Great question.
Yes, thanks for asking that question, Margaret. Senior living organizations provide home for the people who live there. A shared home in the midst of increasingly diverse communities. It's vital that home, whether it's retirement or long-term care or out in the community, be a place where everyone who lives and works there knows that they're welcome and safe and can belong and can thrive. So if there's fear of not being accepted or understood or even judged or mistreated, and so needing to hide a part of who you are to be safe and welcome in your home, that's just not how it should be. There's been a big shift in how our society's thought and talked about gender and sexuality in the lifetime of our current residential care residents. And change can be disorienting. It takes work. And so it's important that we all keep growing and understanding together. This year, the Ontario CLRI, the Centers for Learning, Research and Innovation in Long-Term Care, created a toolkit for homes called Embracing Diversity. It's practical steps to nurture diverse and welcoming communities. And it's important to mention that many people who've had the experience of feeling excluded were included in the creation of this resource, which includes gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, as well as other areas of diversity like culture, language, and religion. So this resource provides print resources to read, webinars where individuals in homes share their experience, Pride Month resources, questions for self-reflection and learning as a team, and specific scenarios in training bring a human face to the topic. You asked about increased visibility in residential care. How can you tell homes are getting more inclusive? Well, there should be a shift in the language used. We need to check what assumptions we're making in the words that we use to talk about and to families, and use gender inclusive words. And the presence of posters promoting acceptance and inclusion, rainbow pride flags and stickers, They're all small symbols that can mean a lot. And we can celebrate days like Human Rights Day to maintain and raise awareness. So I encourage everyone to access these resources through the CLRI website. They're online for free, or you can order print copies. And together we can keep working toward more comfortable inclusion in all our diversity.
And so important that the LGBTQ community was involved in the development of these resources. And we've provided links to these resources below in the video description. Thank you for answering all of those questions for us today, Jane. If you have a question for Jane or any of our other researchers on spirituality, arts, mobility, or technology, you can connect with us through the link in the video description below.
And thanks for watching. It's been great to spend this time with you.